Hello everybody, my name is Fearless, and today I'm going to be showing you all of my favorite add-on combinations for every single killer in Dead by Daylight. If you enjoy the video, please be sure to like and subscribe. We are 5 subscribers away from 200, and I hope you enjoy. First, we have the Trapper. So, you know, it's going to show the killer on the left, and then the 2 favorite add-ons on the right. Now, this is my favorite add-on combinations, like 2 add-ons combined. You know, we're not doing my 2 most favorite. It's the 2 combined. You know, my favorite combination. You get it. So, Iridescent Stone and Oily Coil, I really like these combined. Trapper's a weak killer, so you need to use strong add-ons for him, and that's exactly what I do. With Iridescent Stone, it automatically resets and arms a random disarmed bear trap every 30 seconds. Very nice. And Oily Coil, resetting a bear trap reveals the aura of the last survivor to have disarmed the bear trap for 5 seconds. So, you know, passive, you know, arming of your traps, and then passive information, because people are always going to disarm your traps every single time. It's going to happen. So this is just free information on them. Next, we have the Wraith. My favorite combination for the Wraith is Coxcombed Clapper and the Ghost. Coxcombed Clapper silences your bell, and the Ghost prevents your tear radius and red stain from appearing for an additional 6 seconds after uncloaking. So you silently uncloak, and then you have no tear radius or red stain for 6 seconds, so you can easily get gen grabs, and I really like the stealthy aspect of him. So, next we have the Hillbilly. I know that says a lot. My favorite combination is Lepro Chains and Spiked Boots. Lepro Chains allows you to continue the chainsaw sprint after breaking a pallet or breakable wall. But if you hit someone after breaking the pallet within 5 seconds, it only injures them for a single health state. Spiked Boots increases your turn rate by 45%. I just really like them together. There's no really reason. I just like the turn rate being that high, and I love just shredding through a pallet and continuing to go. It's really satisfying to me. Next, we have the Nurse. When I play the Nurse, I like going for a speedy playstyle. I would always use Play With Your Food and Spasmodic Breath, you know? Anything that makes you fast, really. Badman's Breath and Spasmodic Breath are the combination. Badman's Last Breath, hitting a survivor with a blink attack, gives me undetectable for 25 seconds. And Spasmodic Breath, hitting a survivor with a blink attack, will give me 115% movement speed for 60 seconds, but I won't be able to blink. So if I hit someone, I will become normal speed and stealthy. I just really like it. Next, we have Huntress. Flower Babushka and Oak Haft is the combination. Flower Babushka reduces the wind-up time of hatches by 10%, and Oak Haft reduces the cooldown duration between successful hatch throws by 20%. Sorry if some of these definitions are a little, or descriptions are a little weird. I got them from the Wikipedia, and sometimes they're a little off. Like, for the Flower Babushka, it said -12. It's actually -10. So, yeah. Next, we have Michael Myers. My favorite is Scratched Mirror in Boyfriend's Memo. Boyfriend's Memo doesn't really matter. It's mainly Scratch Mirror. Scratch Mirror allows you to see the auras of every survivor within 32 meters of where you're stalking. And Boyfriend's Memo increases your lunge in Tier 1 by 50%. Because when you're in Tier 1, your lunge is absolute dog crap, so you kind of need that to make it even slightly bearable when you're doing Scratch Mirror. So, next we have the Hag. Rusty Shackles and Grandma's Heart. Rusty Shackles is very, and I mean very underrated. So, when a survivor triggers a trap, usually you would hear this loud noise like the scream, and then your camera would face towards it, and it would show the Hag. This removes all of that. All of it. So, the trap is still triggered, but the survivor gets no indication of it. There's no fake Hag there. There's no scream or anything, and their camera isn't directed towards it. So it's just really good for sneaking up on people. And Grandma's Heart is very good combined with it. What Grandma's Heart does is, when a trap is triggered, the trap has a 16-meter tear radius, and then your tear radius is 0. And so basically, when they trigger the trap with the Rusty Shackles, there's a 60-meter tear radius around the air, so they get really confused. And then you have no tear radius, so you can either teleport or sneak up on them. Doesn't really matter. Next, we have the Doctor. Kind of boring with his add-ons. They're all really kind of the same. Discipline, Carter's Notes, and Discipline Class 3. They both reduce the detonation delay of shock therapy. This one by 20 and that one by 15. You get the idea. It's pretty much the same. Very boring. The next one we have is Bubba, though. My favorite combination is Primer Bulb and Vegetable Oil. Primer Bulb reduces the time required to replenish a charge by 1 second, and Vegetable Oil decreases the chainsaw cooldown by 0.3 seconds. Now, 0.3 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but it's really noticeable. It really is. Next, we have Freddy Krueger. Now, this is one of the rare cases where you can't really combine them. You know, like, if you combine his perks, they don't really do shit. But I usually use any one of his perks that make the Dream Snares into Dream Pallets, because Dream Pallets are, they're just so much better. And that's really all I use. The other add-ons usually don't matter. Like, I don't have a combination. It's usually Paint Thinner and just some random one. So I put my favorite other one to use, which is Nancy's Masterpiece. The Paint Thinner, again, it makes it to where instead of Dream Snares, you have Dream Pallets. And when a survivor throws down a Dream Pallet, you can see their aura for 6 seconds. Nancy's Masterpiece, it reduces the cooldown duration of Dream Projection by 3% for each asleep survivor. So if all 4 survivors are asleep, you'll get your ability 12% faster. Very nice. Still not very good. Freddy needs that rework now. So the next combination is Workshop Grease and Shattered Syringe. I accidentally left Nancy's Masterpiece up there. I don't know how I didn't see that when I was editing it. Anyways, after her buff to her dash, this is what I've always ran with her. Never changed it once. Basically, what this does, Workshop Grease, it reduces the cooldown duration of missed ambush dash attacks by 10%, and it increases the charge speed by 50%. Very, very nice. And I almost said Nancy's Masterpiece. The Shattered Syringe reduces the cooldown of missed ambush attacks by 10%. So it's literally just... The Shattered Syringe is just the first part of the Workshop Grease. So combining it, 20%, and then you charge it 50% faster. It's just very good. Next, we have the Clown. And for the Clown, I always use the cigar box and the Jeep Gin bottle. Did I say Jeep? Next, we have the Clown. First, we have the cigar box and the Cheap Gin bottle. The auras of all survivors within 60 meters of you are revealed when you are invigorated, and it's for 6 seconds. So, if you don't understand what that means, if I throw a yellow bottle as the Clown and I have this add-on, if I step in the yellow, I'll see all survivor auras within 60 meters. And if a survivor goes in the yellow, they'll see my aura and all their teammates from 60 meters. That's what it does. So, you know... It could benefit the survivors. More than likely, it will benefit you, though, if you know how to actually use your bottles correctly. The Cheap Gin bottle, however, increases the strength of the haste effect by 3%. Very nice. Next, we have Spirit. I just started using this combination, and it's already my favorite one ever. First, we have the White Hair Ribbon. It increases the charge speed of Yamoka's Haunting by 20%. It's just so nice to just be able to activate your ability that quickly. And it's the only add-on that she has that actually increases the charge speed, I believe. And then next we have the Rusty Flute. Increases the recharge rate by 40%. And even with this add-on, her recharge rate is still pretty slow. I mean, it's pretty slow, but it helps a lot. So these two together, just really good. Really, really good. And next we have Legion. Scratch Ruler and Iridescent Button is the combination. Scratch Ruler reduces the recovery time of Feral Frenzy by 5 seconds. This is a gray add-on. I really don't think it should be. It should be at least green, and this is really, really good. I'm happy it's gray, though, because it's easy to get. And it's really good, because I believe your cooldown recovery time, rather, is 10 seconds, I believe. It might be 20, but yeah, this helps a lot. Next, we have the Iridescent Button, though. Whenever you vault a pallet in Feral Frenzy, the pallet is destroyed. Yeah, I just like these two together. I always run them. That's all I gotta say about this, really. Next, we have the Plague. And I'm not gonna be able to pronounce that. Prophylactic Amulet and Blessed Apple. The Amulet reduces the number of available pools of devotion by 2. And the Blessed Apple causes 1 additional pool of devotion to spawn already corrupted. So the reason you would want less pools is because when they use all the pools, you immediately get your ability. You don't have to go up to anything. So I reduced the number by 2. And when you start, you already have one corrupted. So then I made another one corrupted. So there's even less for them to actually use. So you can just get your ability passively instead of going to get it, which I think is very nice. Next, we have Ghostface. Now, these are both great add-ons, believe it or not. I really don't know how. I don't know. Philly reduces the time to mark survivors by 20%. That sounds like it would be a purple or a green, right? Nope, it's gray. And then we have, I think it's Wally's matchbook. I keep wanting to say Wall-Eye, but I'm saying Wally. So Wally's matchbook reduces the recovery time of Night Shroud by 6 seconds, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that actually helps so much. I believe the cooldown is 20 seconds, so now it is 14. Next, we have Demogorgon. When I play Demogorgon, I love using a shred. I barely ever use his teleports. If you watch my streams and you've ever seen me play as him, you know I completely forget to even teleport sometimes. So I go for shreds mainly. I go for shreds mainly. Barb's glasses decreases shred pallet break cooldown by 10%, and Blackheart decreases shred hit cooldown by 10%. Which is just very nice. Next we have Oni. Ink Lion and Cracked Sakazuki is what I like to use for the combination. The Ink Lion reduces the transition time into Blood Fury by 0.5 seconds, and reduces the transition out of Blood Fury by 0.5 seconds. And the Cracked Sakazuki does exactly those two things. So combining them together, it's 1 second. So let's just say this. It reduces the transition time into it by 1 second, and reduces the transition time out of it by 1 second. But then the Ink Lion has the additional effect. It reduces the power gauge penalty for downing a survivor during Blood Fury by 2 seconds. So when you down someone with your ability, you'll save 2 seconds. I just really like these together. It just makes you, like, when you get your ability, it just makes you be able to activate it so fast. And then when you lose it, let's say you lose it right when you're about to hit someone, you can easily just M1 them after that. Next, we have Slinger. Warden's Keys and Modified Ammo Belt. Very, very boring, I know. They both reduce the time to reload. The Warden's Keys, 0.35 seconds, and the Ammo Belt, 0.25 seconds. That, you know, kind of boring, but I just like running them. Next, we have Pyramid Head. I almost said Pinhead. No, Pyramid Head. He has very, very horrible add-ons. But these are the only two that are worth running. Burning Man Painting and Wax Doll, they both increase the reach of the punishment of damage attacks by 1 meter and 1.5 meters. So, next we have the Blight. Now, my friend Finney also mains the Blight, but he kind of sucks at the game. Anyways, mine's at the top. This is my combination, Adrenaline Vial and Alchemist Ring. Adrenaline Vial increases the number of tokens by 2, your movement speed by 5, your look degree by 20 degrees, look angle by 20 degrees, and reduces your turn rate by 55. So that's a downside, obviously. The Alchemist Ring extends the duration of your rush by 20% per consecutive rush. And since you have 2 extra tokens, that's plus 40%. It's insane. Finney, though, he likes the Umber Salts and the Plague Bile. The Umber Salts increase your turn rate by 15, and the Plague Bile increase your turn rate by 10. I don't know why you would use Plague Bile and not just Compound 33, because Compound 33 has plus 1% on the rush turn rate, but then it also has the duration effect. I don't know, but yeah, this is what it is. Next, we have the twins, Silencing Cloth and Forest Stew. Silencing Cloth. After waking from her dormant state, Charlotte is undetectable for 20 seconds. You're going to be constantly switching back and forth between them, so this is just... I just think this is really, really good for her. And Forest Stew increases Victor's movement speed by 0.6 meters per second. And it makes him so fast. Like, I believe 0.6 meters per second is 15% speed. Yeah, it is 15% speed, so that's actually very fast. The Trickster. When I play the Trickster, I mainly go for main event add-ons, and that's exactly what happened here. Tequila Moonrock and Waiting for You Watch. Tequila Moonrock increases the duration of main event by 60%, and Waiting for You Watch increases the duration of main event by 0.4 seconds for each successful blade hit. So you can make main event last like almost an entire 30 seconds with this. Crazy. Next we have Nemesis, recently buffed. So these are what I use for the buffed Nemesis. Liquor Tongue increases the duration of Hindered by 3 seconds. And Marvin's Blood increases the gain of mutation rate by 16% for uncontaminated survivors and 50% for contaminated survivors. So, very, very good. Next, we have Pinhead. Iridescent Lament configuration shields the aura of the Lament configuration from survivors who are further than 24 meters. And Chatter's Tooth grants the ability to see the aura of the Lament configuration for me, and it allows me to pick it up. And when I pick it up, I become undetectable for 25 seconds, but it deactivates chain hunts. So the reason I put these together is because it's going to be harder for them to see the aura unless they're really close, which means they can't pick it up before I can actually use Chatter's Tooth. So I put these two together, and I go for a stealthy playstyle sometimes. Next, we have Artist. She's another one of these examples, like Freddy, where I just couldn't really find anything good to combine it with. So I went back to an old Odd Starva video, and I realized, oh yeah, the Severed Hands are really, really good. And he was using the Garden of Rot with it, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll just put that in here. Severed Hands causes survivors coming within 3 meters of swarm survivors to become swarmed as well. So, if you time it correctly, you can hit someone on a gen with the crow, and then send another crow after them, and it will hit the teammate that got swarmed by the add-on. And then Garden of Rot, survivors become exposed for 4 seconds after repelling a swarm. Yeah, I don't really like Artist that very much. Next, we have Sadako. Tape editing deck and remote control. Tape editing deck causes all survivors to start the trial with a tape, and they must go to the furthest TV. And the auras of survivors inserting a tape are revealed to you for 6 seconds. Remote control. The auras of all survivors within 12 meters of power TVs are revealed to you for 7 seconds after you teleport. Very, very nice. Next, we have the Dredge. Boat Key and Field Recorder. Boat Key increases your teleport speed by 16% while not in Nightfall, and when the exit gates are powered, all active locks are instantly broken. Very nice. I go for an endgame build with him. That's why Field Recorder is there too. It causes the trial to start in Nightfall, and causes Nightfall to activate automatically when the last generator is completed. And this last part doesn't really matter, but it is part of the add-on. Survivors suffer from the exhausted status effects for 15 seconds when coming into contact with the Remnant. Next, we have Wesker. Loose Crank and Egg. Gold. Loose Crank increases your movement speed between the bounds by 8%, and the Egg increases the in-between bounds by 50%. So you get a longer time and a fast movement speed in between. Next, we have the Knight. Dried Horse Meat and Treated Blade. Dried Horse Meat extends the duration of a hunt by 4 seconds, and Treated Blade reduces the cooldown time after summoning the Assassin by 20%. So if you don't know, the Knight got massively buffed. Every guard has its own cooldown now. So you send out a guard, it hits a survivor. The other 2 guards that you didn't summon are off cooldown, so you can immediately put them on the same survivor. So it's pretty great. And the Assassin is obviously one of the best ones. He's the fastest one. I think he's like he moves at like 110 or something. I don't know exactly, but he moves faster than the survivors. So, I want the Assassin as much as possible. That's why the cooldown. And then I always extend their hunt by 4 seconds. They're pretty much unescapable. And the longer your path is, the more they hunt, the longer they hunt for now too. So that's even better. Next, we have Skull Merchant. The iridescent unpublished manuscript and the prototyped rotor are what I like to use. People are always going to be constantly getting rid of your drones by disabling them. So, when a survivor disables a drone, my drone gains my terror radius and I'm undetectable for 15 seconds. And the prototype rotor increases the rotation speed of the drones by 10%. Very nice. Next, we have Singularity. Live wires and hyper awareness spray. Live wires causes the survivors to scream whenever they remove the ball sack from the back. And the spray causes all slipstream survivors to hear a fake tear radius, so it's really good for confusing them. Next, we have Xenomorph. Emergency helmet and Ovomorph. Emergency helmet increases the resistance towards flame turrets by 35%, and the Ovomorph increases the recovery speed of crawler mode when outside of tunnels by 25%. These two are just insane together. You're always going to have your ability really quickly outside of tunnels, and then you're not going to lose it because the turrets are useless with this add-on on. Next, we have Chuckers. Power drill and electric carving knife. Power drill reduces hidey code mode cooldown by 10% after hitting a survivor with slice and dice, and the carving knife decreases slice and dice miss cooldown by 5%. So yeah, I mainly go for slice and dices. You know, I hit them, and then hidey-ho mode is 10% reduced on the cooldown, so then I can immediately do it again. It's great. For unknown, I use the blurry photo in the front page article. After teleporting, your movement speed is recovered faster by 50%. This was nerfed to 25, but then they brought it back up to 50. I don't know why. Wasn't in a patch notes anywhere. They just did it. And in the front page article, it reduces the spawn timer of your next hallucination by 50% after breaking a wall or pallet. Very freaking nice, bro. I love Unknown. He's one of my favorite killers to play. Next, we have Vecna. Pearl of Power and Ring of Spell Storing. Pearl of Power reduces the current cooldown timer of all your spells by 5 seconds after a successful basic attack. You're always going to be hitting people, so this is just really nice to have. And a Ring of Spell Storing permanently reduces the cooldown timer of all spells by 4 seconds. Again, very nice. So, you know, I just like it. And next, we have Dracula, the final, most recent killer in Dead by Daylight. Alucard's Shield and Cube of Zoe. Or Zoe, whatever that says. Alucard's Shield, once an exit gate is powered, this activates. It causes pillars of hellfire to continuously spawn inside the exit gate. And the Cube of Zoe, whenever generator is completed, pillars of fire are created randomly around me for 10 seconds. The main reason I like these is just because they're so unique. There's no other killer that has add-ons like this. They're so just different, you know? We don't normally have add-ons that just straight up injure the survivors for free, pretty much, you know? And that is the final killer. I hope all of you enjoyed. If you like any of my combinations, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.